What up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about another topic that I got from TikTok. This was also a pretty big debate. This one was actually a lot bigger than the last video I talked about, and it was talking about four specific characters. If you guys see on the image itself, it shows Goku, Naruto, Ichigo, and Luffy, and it's saying in this scenario who would win: Goku with infinite ki, Luffy with every devil fruit and awakening, Naruto with every jutsu and chakra, and I think it was like Biju or whatever, and Ichigo with every Bankai and Shikai equipped. Who would win in this fight? Now, the general consensus from myself from this fight, a lot of people were saying that Ichigo would win this because all those Bankai abilities and powers that he would have would be too OP for any of the other characters to handle, and then it kind of devolved into Ichigo versus Luffy for some reason. A lot of people said, well, Luffy has a lot of devil fruits. He can do a lot of different things and manipulate, his body. And also with Gear 5, he can manipulate reality and have Toon Force and stuff like that. So it became that. But a lot of people were saying, no, Goku, specifically Goku was pushed out. Naruto was talked about a little bit because some of the Naruto fans said, no, he would be very powerful. But Goku was one of those characters that I thought everybody was going to choose, but they chose Ichigo because of all the hacks abilities he had. And there were some arguments for Goku. Somebody said, well, if he had infinite ki, that means he would have infinite power. I don't agree with that, and I'll go into explain why that isn't the case. But I do agree that Goku would beat all those three, even with those other abilities, because I want to be honest, the advantage they gave Goku isn't really that impressive, having infinite ki compared to those other ones. They basically have all the powers in their universe and be able to use all of them, and even the upgraded versions of them, which would mean they have many different types of abilities and hacks, which would make them dangerous. Now, some of you guys might say, oh, you're just saying Goku would win because, you're a Goku fanboy. I mean, at this point, Ichigo should win because it's not just about power. He has all these other hacks. But there is a problem with that, because if you know anything about Dragon Ball, you would know that hacks and Dragon Ball characters, it's a little bit different than other fictional universes with, hacks abilities. But let's talk first about the infinite ki. A lot of people arguing that Goku would win because if he had infinite ki, that means he would have infinite power, strength, speed. That's not true. Infinite energy or infinite ki, which just means he would have infinite power reserves to draw upon. So let's say he fires a Kamehameha. His Kamehameha is not going to be stronger. It might be stronger, but it's not going to be infinite. The power is not going to be infinite, but he can pour infinite energy into that Kamehameha. Usually when he pours it, he blasts even more power into it, he kind of runs out of energy. But this time, if he fires a Kamehameha, even if he maxes out the power of the Kamehameha's output, he can keep on holding it as long as forever, because he would have infinite reserves. And we have seen characters with infinite power in Dragon Ball, and those were the androids. Android 17, 16, and 18. They're called the infinite energy models. The way they work is their energy is... they have this machine that creates infinite energy. It did make them stronger, as it was stated by Dr. Giro, saying when he put that in them, they became stronger, and that made it better for his plans. But the problem was, by getting stronger, they also became more uncontrollable. But we've seen them fight, and we know that even with that infinite energy reserves, they're still not have infinite power, because having infinite energy means that you will never lose out of energy or run out of energy, but you will still have a ceiling and a limit to how much power you have. Unless they said infinite power, then that's one thing. But infinite ki just means he has the energy source that he draws his power from. He would have an infinite well of reserve there, so he can keep on using it without it depleting at all. So we saw that with the android 17, 18, and 16. And guess what? They were not unkillable infinite gods. They were still very powerful, but they had a limit. The only difference was when somebody like Piccolo, who was on par with 17, was fighting, they weren't evenly matched in power. But the thing was, as the fight progresses, the more damage that Piccolo takes, the more his energy goes down. The more damage 17 takes, his energy does not get affected at all. It will always stay there and replenish. So that was it. That's what would be happening for Goku too. Even with Majin Buu, we saw that with Kid Buu. Kid Buu technically also had infinite ki. he did not run out of energy. He couldn't pour out as much as energy as he wanted. He was still mad powerful, but the thing was, he still had a limit. So even if Goku does have infinite ki, he would have a limit. The only thing it would be is if he has infinite ki, he would be a lot stronger than he would be without infinite ki. So he would, like with the androids, he would be upgraded version of himself. So he would be stronger and then also be able to use the energy infinitely, right? So he'll be able to pour that energy out infinitely and keep on using it consistently. So technically, he'll be able to use like something like Super Saiyan 3 or Super Saiyan God without any drawbacks at all at that point. He can use it because it'll be like him in heaven. When he was in heaven, he had infinite, but he was, he still could lose and stuff. He still had a limit. So that means he would have infinite power there. Would that be enough to beat Ichigo and them? I do think so. Now, it doesn't make him have infinite power. It just means he has infinite energy to replenish or rely on, right? But why do I think that he can beat the rest of the characters, especially Ichigo? A lot of people say, well, all the Bankais have crazy hacks, but we already know in Dragon Ball how hacks works, how these hacks abilities affect certain characters. People act like idiots. They don't really think about the universes they're talking about. They just say, here, words like hacks, that means he wins. He has all these crazy abilities. But remember this. In Dragon Ball, hacks abilities only work on the character if that character is the person that's using the hacks is stronger than them, equal in terms of power, or a bit weaker. If they're a lot weaker, and I mean insanely weaker, it's not going to work. That's why when, Buhan, when he tried to turn, Vegito, Super Vegeta into a candy, he did do it, but he was able to still move around and beat him up. That's why when Hit used his time stopping ability, he was able to stop Goku at first, but once when Goku increased his power, he was able to break through it, and then he had to increase his power more to strengthen his hacks ability. So hacks abilities do work, but you have to be significantly, you can be significantly weaker than them. And is Ichigo significantly weaker than Goku? Yes, he is. Even with the highest high ball, you could put Ichigo at universal plus. He can destroy a couple of universes, but he's not multiversal. Goku at the most, I guess you can argue, is low complex multiversal, but he is still pretty easily multiversal at this point. He's way faster than Ichigo. He's way stronger than Ichigo. He has way more durability than Ichigo. And with the infinite energy, he would have infinite power or infinite energy reserves, right? And some people say, well, wouldn't the hack still work? No, it will not, because the gap between Ichigo's power and Goku's power is too significantly high for it to affect him. So yes, he would be able to use those hacks. Unless those hacks are augmenting his own physical capabilities, that is fine, because those hacks are for their own physical capabilities. But any other hacks that they try to use on Goku will not work. Like, people keep on saying, Aizen could use his Shikai and basically, put Goku through all these illusions because of all of his senses. Goku doesn't need his senses. He can sense energy. He doesn't need to hear, see, smell, or taste. He literally has a power beyond regular senses. All your 5 senses, even if he controls it, Goku can literally sense energy. He would know that what's happening is not really happening, because he would be like, oh, this is not right. Because of, like, say he's attacking and he's not damaging the person, he'll realize, oh, wait, the key signature is not here. There's no key signature, so I'm clearly not attacking something. It's over there, but I'm seeing something different. He would notice that, oh, there's an illusion. And also, Goku and them, they have psychic abilities where they can at least protect themselves against psychic attacks. So it's not like psychic attacks are just going to automatically work. And they have abilities against hacks abilities. So even if he did use it, that even Ichigo or Aizen are way too weak. That would not work on him. The illusion would not work on him. Goku would be able to look past it and fight him, right? So those techniques, the problem is they would work if Ichigo was a lot more powerful, but he's too weak. And even at the highest ball, because I don't think Ichigo is Universal Plus. I think people are over-exaggerating. The whole thing about taking out Waco Mundo and all this other stuff, it was a balance thing. It's a balance thing. And I will make a video about that at some point in the future. But the only reason the universes were in jeopardy is because they were ruining the balance of the Bleach universe, where they need hollows. Once when you wipe out all hollows, then the balance would collapse in on itself. That's what Yuovach, or whatever you want to fucking call them, him and the Quincy's were doing, and that's why it was toppling it. It wasn't because they're universal. But even at the highest, he is only universal, which is leagues below Goku, and it will not work on him. Even Hit, somebody like Hit, he was not that much weaker than Goku. When Goku used the Kaioken times 10 in Super Saiyan Blue, he was stronger than him, But how much was he stronger than him by? At most 10 times? That's not that much more. If you look at Ichigo compared to Goku, Goku would be millions to billions of times stronger than him. I'm sorry, Ichigo would not be able to fucking use that on him at all. Because if that was the case, then Hit's time skip would have worked on Goku no matter what, right? It would have worked on him no matter what, but it did not. Because once when he increased his power, it stopped working on him, so he had to increase his own power. And even with his own increased power, it still did not, it's still not like it was like 100% it worked on Goku. Goku still had enough power to be able to muscle his way through it. So, I'm sorry, that's just not how it works in Dragon Ball. And with that energy, infinite energy, as much as Ichigo attacks him or tries to use his abilities, he will not run out of stamina. Goku, without running out of stamina, he would be able to fire off as many energy attacks, many as big explosions. He doesn't even need to destroy the planet. He just needs to do those attacks where they condense the energy and then release it out from their entire body. That would be enough. If he's in vicinity, he would be able to disintegrate Ichigo. And some people say, well, he can't really see Ichigo because he's a Shinigami and stuff like that. I do think that Goku, since he has seen beings outside of the world, Goku, with his ki, I think he would be able to see him, though. I think with, the stuff and situations that Goku's been through, he would be able to see him. But let's say, for argument of sake, that no, he would not be able to see Ichigo. I think he'd still be able to beat him. You know why? Because he can sense his energy. Goku does not need to see. That's the whole point of Popo's training, is that you can sense your energy. So even though he cannot see, Shinigamis and all these Soul Reapers, he can still sense them because they still have energy. The Reishi that they use, Reishi is basically like Ki. I'm not going to say it's exactly like Ki, but it is basically like Ki. And the thing is, even if he's not using Ki, even if he's using like something like magic, because a lot of characters in Dragon Ball use magic, like Boo, he used magic, but he could still sense his energy because Ki is just life energy. So he would have it. So he would be able to sense Ichigo, and he would be able to tell that he's there. He was able to fight Hit when he was in another dimension. Hit was also able to be invisible and fight another dimension. The only difference is, the only advantage this will give Ichigo is to be invisible, but Goku can sense people even if they are invisible, so that's not going to help him out. It's not like being a Shinigami, you can touch the other person, but they can't touch you unless you can see them. The only thing is they can see you. So even if Goku can't feel it, he'll be able to feel the air currents. Like, let's say Ichigo's trying to slice him. He'll be feeling the wind, or like feeling the energy of the sword coming at him, be able to dodge it. Goku will be able to dodge it and hit him, and especially with Ultra Instinct, his body instinctively can detect threats without even seeing it. His body instantly would be able to catch it, but he wouldn't even need to use that. Goku normally already has enough skill to be able to tell that, seeing as how he was able to beat Hit with his abilities. And then Luffy, and then somebody like Naruto. Naruto, I don't think is going to win with the Biju and all this other stuff. Ninjutsu, all those ninjutsus are nowhere near that powerful. Most of the devil fruits are pretty useless. There are some strong devil fruits, but they're not enough. And Luffy's power is way too low for the hacks abilities to work. The Logia users, the way hockey works is kind of like regular Ki. You can augment your body, make yourself stronger, increase your durability, shoot energy attacks and stuff, go from the distance, and put hands on them. So I think if Goku uses Ki, he can do that, and he can just completely obliterate them, or shoot them out into orbit. If you shoot them out into orbit, they're basically screwed. So I think Goku can handle him too. And Luffy's Toon Force, stop with the Toon Force shit, because even though he was fighting against Kaido, remember, he was fighting against Kaido, yes, with the Toon Force powers, he was able to beat him, but he didn't just completely dog him, because at one point when he was throwing the slash attack, it was going to kill Luffy. Luffy had to use power. If he was, if his Toon Force can bypass just regular strength alone, he wouldn't need to increase his power. He would have just been able to easily handle it, right? But he wasn't. So I don't even believe that either. So in this debate, I do not think infinite Ki would make Goku's power. It would increase his power, but not infinitely. It would just increase his energy reserves infinitely. But even without that, Goku, and the way the Dragon Ball world works, if you're more powerful, especially by a large margin, Hack's abilities don't work on you. Hit was not even that much weaker than Goku, and his Hack's ability wasn't working that well. Ichigo is way weaker than Goku, even if we give him the ridiculous high ball of Universal, which I don't put him as Universal. I'll put like Ichigo at Galaxy or more than Galaxy level. Maybe way more than Galaxy level. Close to Universal level threat, but I wouldn't say he's Universal. They haven't shown anything really Universal level. I know I'm going to have some disagreements there, but even if we do say he's Universal and give him the benefit of the doubt, Universal Plus, still way weaker than Goku. even we low ball Goku, he's multiversal. Every high ball Goku, he's low complex multiversal. So Goku bodies no matter what, because that's not how hacks works in Dragon Ball. So yes, Goku wins. People who say that clearly don't know enough about Dragon Ball to make that argument. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for next time.